This is the 10 Minutes with Andrew podcast.
Welcome back to 10 Minutes with Andrew. Of course, Andrew, I'm again joined by Mark Chansey. Welcome back to the show.
Hello, son.
Hello.
I'm not totally sure what we're doing today, but I have a feeling this one might be spicy.
Oh, I think it will be. For sure.
Spicy. May even be a few F-bombs.
Family show. But
I'm not allowed to say frig?
Yeah, well, you can say that. Yeah. But, speaking of, I just thought about this when you said spicy. The word spicy. But remember a couple of years ago, or maybe it was like last year?
Yep.
We were at the bowling tournament.
Yep.
There was a guy there.
Yep.
Played for, I can't remember what team it was with lanes. But every time he would get a strike, or I think it was a spare, whatever kind of mark he would get, he would just yell out "spicy" to everybody, on the team and give everybody high fives.
Yep. Just like you.
No.
No?
No. I wish I had that much.
No, he said spicy.
Yeah. Every time he would, and he would get a high five.
It was entertaining.
It was entertaining.
Yeah, so Leafs lose. But they got the loser point.
That's our first thing to talk about.
They got the loser point.
But
dumbest rule, I haven't asked you yet. Dumbest rule in sport, the loser point.
It is the dumbest rule in sport.
And Montreal lost in regulation.
They did lose.
I'm okay with that.
As I just saw in the highlights.
I'm okay with that. So what are we doing today, my son? Tell me carefully, because I'm still a little hot under the collar.
Before we get into that.
Before we get into what?
Before I tell you what we're going to do, to go back to the Leafs thing, because I want to elaborate more a little on this, because I thought it was interesting. Last night, during the game, Mason Marchment for Seattle crashed into Anthony Stolarz in the net. And Stolarz was not happy. And he shoved the net to the ground, all this stuff, and he was trying to get at him. Well, post-game, I got a couple of quotes here from Anthony Stolarz, because it was quite interesting what he said. And he was not happy with not only, I think, what Seattle did to him, but also the performance of the whole team. So he said, I'm not happy. I'm going to try and stand up for myself. Maybe we can take a page out of their book and start getting to the net. For us, we like to go low to high and shoot. But for their goalie, it's like playing catch in the yard. You're seeing everything and we're not making it difficult. Enough's enough and we've got to start to pick it up here.
Good for Stolarz.
And he said more, but that's all I could find.
Good for Stolarz.
Yeah, he was not happy with the team.
And the Leafs are the only team in the history of the NHL, other than last year's Leafs, and the Leaf team before that, and the Leaf team before that, and the Leaf team. You get my point. They're the only team in the history of the NHL that allows you to touch their goalie and you don't do anything about it.
Nope.
Not a thing.
Like Sam Bennett.
He was touched more than once last night.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, the third goal for Seattle, I can't remember who their player was, but kind of made a little bit of contact with him, and then Carlo shoved him right into Stolarz. But he should have been eating a fistful of glove.
Yeah. Sam Bennett crashed into Stolarz' head last year in the playoffs. No one did a thing about it.
Yeah, I don't understand the Leafs' take on it. That young Easton Cowan is getting...
He's getting murdered.
Murdered on every shift. He's got cuts all over his face from high sticks that are going uncalled. He's getting dirty hits everywhere. And nobody on the Leafs is sticking up for him. So, tell me what's different about this team.
Nothing.
Okay. But wait, now come playoffs, they've learned so much.
Yeah.
Now can I ask you?
You can ask me.
What are we doing today, my son?
Well, today, let me just preface by saying, if this is a Blue Jay episode, as the last 5 have been, because they're in the playoffs, of course, they're in the ALCS. If you are a Blue Jays fan, and somehow by some miracle, you like John Schneider, this is not the show for you. It's just not.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, I guess you're right. But it's just, this is not going to be a good show if you are a fan of John Schneider. That's Atkins.
I know. I don't have a Schneider, but
Yeah, we don't have a Schneider.
my
You might see that today.
We get into this. Atkins has to go as well.
Yeah, so just to kind of recap, because last time we did a show last week, the series had not started yet because we were doing a preview
I know.
of the series.
Imagine.
So we're 5 games in. Blue Jays lost their first 2 at home. Did not play very well. Went down 2-0 quickly. Gosman was not great in game 1. Savage wasn't great in game 2. Bullpen, of course, we got more to say about that. So they went down 2-0, went on to Seattle, because the format for the ALCS is 2-3-2. So you play 2 at home, 3 on the road, and then 2 back at home, or for the Blue Jays anyway. And they went into Seattle, and they took the first 2. And they played pretty well in those 2 games. The bats were coming alive again. The pitching was great. Max Scherzer, who I doubted significantly, was great.
They played pretty well in all 3 games.
They did. You're right.
Okay.
Well, not exactly. I wouldn't go that far.
They did.
Not game 5.
Until a managerial blunder.
I wouldn't go that far. I don't think the bats were exactly on fire and they're up 2-1. I don't think it was a fantastic.
They're up 2-1 in the 8th. Who's winning?
The Blue Jays are
Okay.
But the bats were not very good if they're only up 2-1.
Well, they had more than 2 hits than they had in game 1. Was it game 1 they had 2 hits?
I think they had 2 hits in game 1.
Yeah. So I was not upset with. Yeah, we're getting kind of used to the 7-2, 10-2s, 12-2s.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
You got to be able to win 2-1 as well. You
That's-
have to be able to.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
So, they won those
My
2.
blood is just starting to simmer right now.
They won those 2, and anyway, so they won those 2, and they were pretty good, and like you just said, they were pretty good in Game 5 as well. And in Game 5, there's a point in the game.
I do have a sneeze brewing again, just so you know. Here it comes.
Ew, I told you.
This is great. So
I'm allergic to Schneider.
I believe it was the 8th inning.
Yes.
It was the 8th inning. It was the bottom of the 8th. And John Schneider,
Blue Jays up 2-1.
which is up 2-1, John Schneider, for whatever reason, in a move that it was being criticized even by people from Sportsnet on the broadcast, no one stuck up for John Schneider. John Schneider chooses to put Brendan Little in the game over maybe Jeff Hoffman or maybe Sir Anthony Dominguez. So Brendan Little comes in the game,
You're triggering my PTSD here.
and, well, I'm sorry, I'm just recapping.
I've been a couple of days getting over this, and
And-
now it's all coming back.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but when Brendan Little comes in this game, I believe it was the first pitch he threw that. I believe it was the first pitch he threw.
You got UFC up here. I was just watching that
Yeah,
guy
no,
get
it's Sportsnet Central. It's the
his
highlights.
face beaten in.
Yeah, it's a sports highlight. Sportsnet Central. It was the first pitch he threw, right? It was a home run to Cal Raleigh.
No, it wasn't the first one. Might have
Oh,
been
I
the
thought
second.
it was. I thought it was.
No, I don't think it was the first one.
Anyway, he
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
But I don't think it was.
He comes in the game, immediately gives up a home run to Cal Raleigh to tie the game. So then that changed the whole dynamic of the game. And then they bring in Sir Anthony Dominguez.
Well, you're jumping ahead there.
Well, that's not true, because then Little...
You're jumping ahead there. The new rule in baseball is you have to face 3 batters. So
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
stuck facing the next 2 after Raleigh
Yeah.
and couldn't get either of them out
Nope.
and walked them.
There were 2 on, nobody out. They
So
bring
now they're
in
2 on with nobody out,
they bring in Dominguez.
which is not a good time to bring him in.
No.
Dominguez needs to be brought in for a clean inning as a setup man or a closer, not in the middle of disaster.
Yeah, so they bring in Sir Anthony Dominguez, and he gives up a grand slam to Eugenio Suarez
Well,
of
he
the Mariners.
walked one
He walked
first.
one. Then the bases were loaded, gave up the grand slam. 6-2 Mariners.
Yes, that's how it ended.
Then they got out of the inning after that. Go to the top of the 9th. Blue Jays can't get anything going, of course. They're down 6-2. They lose the game. Now, after the game, John Schneider.
You don't have to stop him.
Yeah, I know. I don't
I'm
know.
listening intently. I got you right
I've been
here.
doing that for as long as we've been doing the show. Every time something happens, every time I just stop. It's weird.
I'm not going to stare at you for the whole. Is that better?
No. So after the game, John Schneider goes to the post-game media availability and defends his decision to put Brendan Little in. And basically, we have a clip here of John Schneider. This is him explaining the decision to put Brendan Little in the game.
This is going to hurt me. Do I really have to play this?
You do.
Now?
Yeah, so this is him defending his decision.
Serenity now.
Wanted to see that, that part of the lineup, see different guys, right? We talked about it all series. Little's been one of our best pitchers in big spots. Tough guy to elevate. Cal's a really good hitter. I get it, man. After that, you got to sell down and throw strikes too. So that's been part of Little's game. So has strikeouts. So again, I trust every single guy on this roster. It's hard. No one feels worse than Little. No one feels worse than Sir right now, or me. But I trust every single guy on this roster. Today it didn't work out, but we've won 2 games in a row a whole lot this year.
We're not done.
I know. But can I address that part?
Address it, yeah. Go ahead.
I don't know if it'll pick up where I just left it.
I don't think it will.
Oh, I may have screwed that up then. I can fast forward it.
Okay.
To the point that it was at here. Anyway, I think I know exactly where it was. A couple of things. I also heard, and maybe he says it later, they wanted to turn Rowley around and have him hit from the right side of the plate. So that's why they're bringing in a left-hander. So my question to that is, you had Lauer out there. You had Fluharty out there.
Fluharty was there.
You went to Little. And then you have the audacity to tell the fan base that he's been one of your better guys out there.
That was the part that got me ticked off.
I'll tell you what that was all about. The Blue Jays knew they were in one. The PR department sent some messaging to John Schneider to say at the podium, because you got to have best on best in that situation.
Yeah.
So he was able to bring in that he was one of their best.
Yeah.
So in his view, it was best on best. Absolutely moronic. But anyway.
Other questions for Schneids?
Pretty good, eh?
Ken and then Mike. John, how much consideration for Hoffman there? Go with your closer against their best.
Yeah, I thought about it for sure.
That's
again, I think decisions are hard. I think being convicted in a process is important, and you make a decision and you leave it behind you. It's part of baseball. Second guessing is part of it. Thought about it for sure, and again, we've relied on every single guy on our roster to get a lot of wins this year. So could have done that, and then you think about who do you want in the 9th inning. Who do they have coming up? So, yeah, we talked about that situation for sure. And unfortunately, it didn't work out.
So, the game before, the Blue Jays are up 6-2 in the 8th.
Yeah.
They had Rowley's part of the order coming up, right?
Yeah.
The big hitters.
Yeah.
They brought in Hoffman to put that fire out.
They did. He was good.
Then they went to Sir Anthony
In the 9th.
to finish the game.
Yep.
2-1, the exact same situation in the 8th. Why would you not bring Hoffman in, or Dominguez at that point, and then the other for the 9th inning? Why would you not do that? I have said...
Second guessing is part of it, like you just said. That's not even close to true.
I have said, since John Schneider has been the manager of the Toronto Blue Jays, that in my opinion, he is not a major league manager. He has made so many questionable decisions that despite that, the team has still succeeded because he didn't always get burned. This is the single most freaking moronic decision I've ever seen made in professional sport.
This is right up there. This reminded me when this happened, and after the game when he was making these comments, this reminded me of the whole 2023 Twins thing when they took Barrios out, and then Atkins comes up and tries to defend it. So it reminded me of that situation.
You're taking my stuff again.
Oh, I didn't know you were going to say that.
It's such a Blue Jay thing to do, because the Blue Jays rely on the guys in the khaki pants and the blue Oxford shirts that know how the game should be run. That's what happened with Barrios against Minnesota in the playoffs, when in the 4th inning he was rolling and they took him out because someone in the khaki pants said this is a much better way to go. And it's such a simple thing. in the 8th inning of a game that you're winning 2-1, you bring your best in.
Yeah.
Oh, he's on the screen. You bring your best in, period.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, John Schneider's a human being. And I don't want to come down on him and make a human being, because he's got feelings.
He doesn't feel.
You know, he has to live with it.
Yeah.
I don't like that he's saying that Sir Anthony and Brandon Little couldn't feel worse right now. And then third one was him.
Yeah, and Brendan Little, by the way,
Brendan Little should never have been in that situation.
who was very emotional after the game, said he couldn't have pitched any worse. Like he was.
Brendan Little should not have been in that situation. Brendan Little should not have been on this roster for this series.
No.
I almost lost my point. Oh, about being nice. And I was going to be nice to the guy as much as I could until I heard him say, Little has been one of our better guys out. Are you freaking kidding me? He is the worst option all year, except maybe in May and June when they couldn't win a thing anyway. For you to say that he's one of your best options out there, I'm convinced you have something loose in the head.
Yeah.
Brendan Little, everybody that watches the Blue Jays know when he's warming up in the bullpen, we all collectively groan because he can't throw strikes. He walks at least the first batter he faces, if not the first two, gets himself into all kinds of trouble, and he is the worst left-handed reliever they have. But that, in his opinion, was the right move.
And to me, Steve Simmons, after the game, tweeted that Brendan Little, I believe this was the numbers, Brendan Little threw 15 pitches in that inning. 10 of them were balls.
That's normal for him, though. But in Schneid's
But that's my point.
In Schneid's eyes, he's one of their best.
I love how the PR people are calling him Schneids now. Any questions for Schneids? You know, but
point me to another one. It is the single dumbest managerial move in the history of Major League Baseball. And I know there'll be a lot of people say there's worse.
Yeah, they'll
this
call
one
it out,
is
yeah.
as bad as can be. And the Blue Jays might get to the World Series despite this, because that's the kind of team they've been. They have dealt with this moronic managerial idiot.
now I have doubts that they
what?
might not make the World Series.
Well, you got your Savage going.
Yeah,
Said
but
it right today,
he
didn't I?
wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't right in Game 2.
Great, because that means he'll be even right tonight. Because I doubt this kid doesn't do well twice in a row.
I would say.
Listen, they're not out of it. They win tonight and it's Game 7, right?
Yeah, or what if they pull a Leafs and they go to Game 7 and they blow it in Game 7?
Doesn't matter. Well, either way, I win because
Yeah.
something has to be done about that decision.
Here's
and
the
I
thing.
can't wait for the media availabilities.
Oh, my God.
And how much Ross Atkins
And
is going
Ross.
to talk about how great John Schneider is. The one thing I do wonder about, though, and I know playoffs is not supposed to have any bearing on it, he was probably up for Manager of the Year.
Oh, he was, for sure.
The Baseball Writers of America vote on that, right? I don't know if they've already voted or if they vote later. If they vote later, those guys cannot forget that move. And then they're going to say to themselves, I know it's only supposed to be based on the regular season, but how could we possibly give that guy Manager of the Year when he made that decision? I wonder about that. Or have they already voted?
Now, USA Today ranked the betting favorites or the favorites to win each award this year. And for AL Manager of the Year, I will say, well, for what it's worth, Bob Nightingale, I think, wrote the article. For what it's worth, it could be just, not true. But for what it's worth, he was number 2 favorite.
Yeah.
Number 1 favorite
that's
was
someone's guess, right?
Number 1 favorite was Stephen Vogt from Cleveland.
That's someone's guess. I think I got another sneeze brewing.
But anyway, my point, here's the thing. There is, after that game and after that decision, in a rare instance, because most times when Schneider makes a bad decision or someone makes a bad decision on the team, somebody on the broadcast for Sportsnet, who's owned by Rogers, who owns the Blue Jays, defends the decision in some way. They try and back it up. They try and explain, okay, well, the stats show that this is going to happen and then they did this because of that. But not a single person on that broadcast post-game.
Which says something.
Because
they're the biggest suckholes in the industry.
Yeah, with Joe Siddle and all these guys. Joe Siddle, by the way, is not afraid to say anything to begin with, But
Siddle even called it.
Yeah, it still called it. But
they went to that, what do they call the in-game update or something?
Yeah, the in-game tracker,
inning.
yeah.
And Siddle said, I just saw Brendan Little warming up in the bullpen. I can't imagine they'd bring him out for this.
And they did.
And they did.
And not a single soul on that broadcast panel after that game defended his decision.
Well, it's like Jamie Campbell said. They went down 2-0. If they had told you they were going to win 2 out of 3 in Seattle, you would have been okay with that.
Yeah.
But after that,
no,
you're not okay with it.
Because, like, let's say tonight they go out there and it's
there's the Stolars hit.
Yeah, and he's not happy.
He's got to go back and do it himself.
He's not happy. So let's say tonight it's the same situation. Like, you're up like by 1 or 2 runs going into the late inning. Schneider's going to put Little in. Or maybe he'll put somebody else in, and then they'll blow the game.
I think they should get those voting buttons to all the fans.
Yeah.
And when there's a decision to be made, have the fans vote on it.
And we'll see. Like, you had that Fire Atkins sound clip they played earlier of the fans. That was last year in one of the games, a small section were chanting that. I wouldn't be shocked if you could find another one after tonight's game. There's probably a small section chanting it.
There's no real organization in baseball that wouldn't fire him at the end of the season, period.
But there are people from Sportsnet that work for Sportsnet that have shows on Sportsnet tweeting after that game on Friday night, you got to fire him if they lose this series.
The only thing that's going to save him is if they win the World Series.
But
if he gets the World Series, there's going to be 2 or 3 more monstrous mistakes by him.
But that's the thing, like... Somebody actually tweeted. It was funny. Somebody had a funny thing. They said John Schneider receiving his Manager of the Year award, and they had a picture of Dwayne Casey there with the Coach of the Year after he got fired
right after. Yep.
But it's just a situation. But here's the thing: any other
you say here's the thing a lot.
I know.
Okay.
I say a lot of things.
That's your thing.
I say a lot of things a lot. Any other organization in professional baseball, in Major League Baseball, after a decision like that, and if the Blue Jays do lose this series, any other organization in Major League Baseball would fire their manager for that, because that turned the series around. The problem with this is that this organization in Major League Baseball, known as the Toronto Blue Jays, is run by Mark Shapiro and Ross Atkins. And we know, we've talked about it so many times before, how tone deaf and just ridiculous the decisions that are made are.
They'll just come on after and talk about what a great year and blah, blah. It was mostly due to the manager anyway, and, you know.
Yeah, all this garbage.
One decision does not a manager make.
So,
it was worse than a Little League decision.
So here's the thing. Like,
here's the thing.
I got to find something else to say. So it's such a weird thing, because you're looking at a situation where if they lose this series, he's probably not going anywhere.
Not a chance.
And
not as long as Ross Atkins is around.
Ross Atkins is there. His contract is up after next year. Mark Shapiro's contract is up now, but he'll get re-signed because they love him. So you're kind of, in a way, guaranteed that you're going to see this management structure probably for another year. And I just think it was one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. If the Blue Jays lose this series, it's entirely Schneider's fault. It's
Atkins' fault. He put him in there. Everybody knew he wasn't a good manager. And somehow this team has done what it's done despite those two bozos.
Yeah, John Schneider was the bench coach for Charlie Montoyo. And then when Charlie Montoyo got fired, he got the manager job.
Despite the bozos in the general manager's chair and the manager's chair, this team has gotten where it's gotten. And they've done it without a very good bullpen. And that keeps coming back and rearing its ugly head, to the point that the manager thinks Brendan Little's one of the best options they have. How bad is your freaking bullpen if you think he's your best option?
And here's the other thing that I can't...
Is there anything else after this? Because we're 25 minutes into this.
One more small thing, but it won't take very long. I don't know how much to say he has on, who comes in, who comes out, because even John Schneider is a manager at the end of the day. He runs the team.
Oh, that was all him.
But, yeah. Where was, I'm assuming someone could maybe have given him a piece of advice. Where was Pete Walker in all this?
I think there's a whole element of sabotage here. I believe, in this world of conspiracy theories, the Russian mafia paid Schneider to throw that game.
No.
That's what I think. Or when Mattingly and Schneider, or Walker, heard what he wanted to do, they were like, oh yeah, boss, that's a good idea, yeah, because they want him gone too. What do you think? Bum, bum, bum.
Okay, because I was going to say, the second one I could agree with. The first, what's with the Russian mafia?
I'm trying to figure out how it's possible
Russian
this
mafia.
man made this decision at that moment. And what if they're up 2-1 today in the 8th or the 9th? What are we
I
going to
just
do
said
then?
that.
Jesus. And that's Jesus with a G.
Yeah.
Speaking of Jesus, can we stop with all the praying and looking up to the sky?
But didn't there was
Honest.
somebody on Seattle did it
Suarez
after too.
is worse than Vladdy.
Suarez. It was Suarez. I forgot about that.
You're into what you're into, but it's just absolutely to the point of ridiculous. Anyway, last items, quick.
I just want to briefly mention this. So George Springer got hit in the knee by a pitch, and then the Seattle fans cheered.
I know, classless, but you can't do anything because KD was with the Warriors in the playoffs against the Raptors, and he blew out his the back thing behind your leg. I can't remember what it is right now.
ACL.
No, down by your heel. I can't remember what it is. Anyway, the Raptor fans did the exact same thing.
Yeah, and then tried to walk to first. They booed him.
Right? It's classless, but the fans' right to do it. They don't like George Springer, and we didn't like KD.
Wow.
And that's what Toronto did. So don't try to say they shouldn't do that when your own fan base does it too.
That's true.
They all do. Good thing it wasn't in New York.
Yeah.
Would have been 100 times worse. I can tell you that right now. I haven't heard about Springer. Is he playing?
I think Schneider said that he hopes to play, or he's hoping he's going to play today.
Well, that's very non-committal by the manager of the year.
Yeah.
Idiot. John Schneider is a moron. Ross
Absolutely.
Atkins is a moron. And they both need to go. Period.
Well, I mean, Shapiro's contract is up.
They're not getting rid of him. He's a great designer. He can interior design anything. Look at that new Rogers Center.
Yeah.
Idiot.
He's a good interior decorator.
One thing I will say that's positive, Vladdy's been really good.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's been very good.
Clement has been really good.
Lucas has been really
Jimenez has been really good. The team is playing well despite the moronic, stupid decisions made by the manager. The manager and the manager alone.
Yeah.
I was beside myself. I couldn't get to sleep that night. I was just in shock, saying, I cannot believe he made that decision. I texted a friend and said, can you effing believe this? And the response I got back was, I can't talk right now. This is disgusting. That's all I got back. So imagine how Blue Jays Nation was.
Yeah.
Put him on the post and light his feet on fire.
Yeah.
Can't stand him.
Neither can I.
Neither looking at him.
Neither can I.
They show his face, and you could see when they show his face after that, he knew. He had that look on his face. Oh, God, it was the dumbest. I'm such an idiot. Yep. But we don't need that at the professional level. Go back and manage your son's little league team.
Yeah.
Until they get rid of you. Worst manager in the history of Major League Baseball. That's all I have to say.
So thank you for listening and watching this episode of 10 Minutes with Andrew. Find us on YouTube. Be sure to like and subscribe and comment. I don't know if there'll be a show next week.
Probably not.
Probably not.
You're going under the knife.
I am going under the knife.
All right.
So we'll see you probably 2 weeks with a new episode.
See you then.
See you then.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons and turn on notifications to be notified when we upload new content. You can also connect with us at andrewchansey.com.